Hello, everyone on Facebook, YouTube, and our audio podcast. I'm Josh Oakes, and I have an exciting guest here today in Phoenix. We're going to talk today about one of my favorite topics. You know, I have a secret ambition of getting your kids a great dream career, and today we're going to talk about that. I have an absolute expert on with us today, and his name is Dennis, and he is coming to us from the University of Phoenix. Dennis Bonilla is the executive dean at the School of Business and the College of Information Systems and Technology at the University of Phoenix. He's spending time with us here today to talk about one really important thing. And he knows a lot about a lot of stuff, but what's most important today that we've asked him to give us tips about is how can we brand ourselves as teenagers to get ourselves ready for the future. And if you're thinking about your career, then also colleges are going to want you to be a part of their leadership and a part of their family and their organization. So Dennis, welcome to the video. It's great to have you here today.
Thanks. Hey, thanks for having me. Really enjoy it. Great topic. I have two girls in that age group, so I'm dealing with this every day.
So you've got an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old.
Yes.
Let's talk, what would you tell students around that age or even in high school that you have one tip, you say consider removing a few things online that might hurt you. What are those things that might hurt you online?
Well, I think, kids don't realize that once it goes online, it stays online forever. So they think that these, funny photos that they might take or these inappropriate photos or these suggestive photos are just going to be taken in fun and not misinterpreted. But the reality is everybody can see it. It's never really eliminated from online. Once it's on the internet, it's on there forever. And somebody's going to be able to dig it up. And then somebody's going to see it. And even though you thought it was proper and you thought it was just in fun, you have to constantly be aware that everything that's happening, that's being taped or posted, will live forever and will be associated with your personal brand for the rest of your life.
Now, Dennis, that's all a great point, but also you say something about consider how you're perceived by others. What do you mean there, and what should we think before we post so we can see how we're perceived?
Well, put yourselves in the shoes of maybe the admissions officer at a college or even the admissions officer at this private high school or this elite school that you would like to go to. Put yourself in their shoes and then scan all the things that you've posted, whether on Facebook or on Instagram or any of the other social media sites, and you do a self-assessment and say, you know what, that doesn't really look right to me. I really wish I would not have done that. That really is not going to present me in the best light or really represents me the way I really am. So you have to think about that everything you're posting is a reflection of your personal brand and will carry forward with you throughout every evaluation process, whether it's for college, your first job, your job at the mall you want to work at, it, everything is going to be evaluated based on what they're able to see and the behavior that you've exhibited in the past.
Yeah, and you also telling students about how they should look at past blog posts and past posts and clean up that grammar. Why is that, and what should they do there?
Well, it's really similar to when, if you're going to go for a job interview, even as an adult, and you present your resume, which is a reflection of the accomplishments you've had. And if the first sentence in the resume is misspelled, trust me, that evaluator says, did they really care enough to take a good look at their work product? And is this the way they're going to behave in the workplace and be sloppy and not have attention to detail? So you have to start thinking about those little things that sort of reflect around whether have you really taken your education seriously? Do you care enough to pay attention to those details? Because those are important things that are going to determine your success in the workplace.
Those are all great tips. And those of you students that are watching right now, you're thinking, all right, I'm on board. I like this. Also consider, get an uncle, get your parents involved, right? Everything that Dennis is saying is so valid. Dennis runs an organization that has about a $500 million in revenue, $500 million. And lots of people attend not only the school, but he has lots of staff members. So he's running a business. He is an employer in and of himself. But what I want you to realize is you don't have to do all this yourself. All these wise tips he's giving you, you can just reach out to an adult that cares. They can be your second set of eyes. We don't expect you to know it all, but just reach out to somebody. Okay, let's use an example, Dennis. You have a nephew that just graduated from ASU. Tell us a little bit about your nephew and something he did recently.
So my nephew, Anthony, he's originally from New York. He came to Arizona to attend college, got his bachelor's degree and his master's degree at ASU. did it in the shortest amount of time possible, wants to be a law enforcement officer, wants to work in the criminal justice system, got his advanced degree in criminal justice. I mean, there were pictures that I remember him posting when he was going to ASU that I would have said, had I known that he was really taking this serious, I'd say, you know what, great picture, Anthony, but I probably wouldn't have posted that one of you, lying a little goofy on the bed there and looking a little, sort of inebriated, right? So, he's going through a very diligent process with the police department where they're taking them through, the lie detector test. They're looking at all the social postings he's had. They're looking at his academic record. They look at it holistically, and he has to present the best brand he can. He's not a kid who drinks. He's not a kid who smokes. He's a kid who behaves. And even though he's been a well-behaved kid throughout his entire career, they're looking at him very closely, and that process will either get him through that and get him to the job that he wants, or it could, a couple of things could knock him out. But he's done very well, and he's gotten employed, and he's continued to get promoted. But he was really, really careful of making sure that he presented himself appropriately for the career that he had chosen.
That's great. And so even if you behave well, it's still hard to get the right job, because those of you that are listening to this, companies, organizations, and colleges are looking to make sure they're investing wisely in people. You will not hit the ground running in your first month as an employee, and it will be very difficult. And a college is going to put a ton of time and money into you as a student. They have to say no to 1,000 other people, right? And so they want to invest in you so you'll be a part of their brand for the rest of your life. And I want to talk about another brand that's really awesome, Raytheon. Now, tell us a little bit about Raytheon. They're really big in your state and in your city. They're a big employer. Tell us a little bit about them, why you like them, and then also tell us about how somebody might be able to work for them and what their social media profiles should look like.
So we've been working with Raytheon as a partner or customer out of our Tucson campus for many, many, many years. They're one of the largest defense contractors in the world. They have the Raytheon missile systems. They have the Raytheon avionics. They're a big defense contractor. In order to work at Raytheon as a defense contractor, every employee who touches anything that has to do with any of the projects has to have a security clearance. Now, that security clearance could take up to a year to be vetted. They check on you. They check on your neighbors. They do, it's like an FBI investigation going on. And, so we have a strong partnership with them where our graduates will go and interview with them for a job. University of Arizona is down in Tucson, and, they get a lot of their employees from the University of Arizona, University of Phoenix, because they believe if they can keep those local students in Tucson, then that brain drain doesn't happen where they leave somewhere else. So they want to be an attractive employer. So they want to make sure that the students do all the things necessary so that they can be employed, pass those security clearances, and be contributors to the local economy and to the community, and be loyal and engaged long-term employees at Raytheon.
Yeah, that's also wise. And that's why you students that are watching this, parents, educators, it is never too early to start talking to kids about their future career. What do you want to do in life? Do you want to work on awesome, cool science stuff like Raytheon has, things that go into space? If you do, great. Where do you want to go to college to get you there? And start planning backwards. And it's never too early to tour a college as well, even in middle school. Okay, so I want to talk with you, Dennis, really quickly. One more thing. What is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have about, oh, I heard this. If I want to get into college, I can just hide my name, or I can change my name right before I get in, or they won't find me if I do this, or they'll understand that I'm not that other person. I don't have to create Google results, even though all the other people with my name got arrested. What's something that you would tell people so they proactively know, A, college dreams, how to get in and build a positive online footprint, and B, a company like Raytheon to know what they need to do way ahead of time?
So I would start first, Josh, telling you that these days I don't ask my kids what do they want to be when they grow up. I ask them, what problem do you want to solve? And by asking them what problem do you want to solve, then you start seeing what interests are they exhibiting through their grade school and through the high school, and then what kinds of activities they're associating with through those activities. So if somebody says, well, I want to go solve global warming, right? That's great. So you've chosen a problem. Now you want to surround yourself in activities in your community, in your high school, and things that will prepare you to have those kinds of conversations and skill sets and apply to the right school that you're going to. But if if you remember the movie Risky Business, I don't know if you remember that. It was a great movie, right? Where Tom Cruise, was applying to Princeton, right? And he's having this crazy party going on, and the Princeton admissions officer comes and shows up at the party and goes through his application and says, well, you did Spanish club and you did chess, but you're not really Princeton material, are you, Joel? And Joel goes, well, I guess it's University of Illinois, right? But you have to be prepared at all times to know that if you're going to be searching for a high elite school or a local state university that's really, really well vetted out academically, they're going to want to see things that you've done in your life, in your community, and given back that are preparing you to be successful in that institution. Everything you do will be vetted.
That's very wise advice and great. I love how you ask your daughters, what you said, what problem do you want to solve? That's really cool.
Right, because you used to ask, well, do you want to be a doctor, a vet, a lawyer, and all that? But that's really not, the younger generation, the millennials too, right? Everything's about purpose. Everything's about what am I contributing to? How am I giving back? So rather than asking them, what do you want to be when you grow up? Because right now, the jobs that are going to be around when they graduate, half of those don't even exist today, right? If you look at how jobs are changing with automation, artificial intelligence, all the technology advances. So asking them, what do you want to be when you grow up is probably not as relevant as what problems are you wanting to solve? And then let's focus on where is the best path to get you prepared to help solve those problems.
All right. This is all awesome information. One more question. You tell students to be on a network that's a professional network. Where would you tell students as young as 14 years old to start building their positive online identity?
I think kids need to be on LinkedIn. And I know LinkedIn is normally seen as an adult professional network, but I got to tell you, start your professional brand on LinkedIn. Start it as early as you can. I believe you can start as early as 14. People are beginning to look at it. I mean, people at Google, at Apple, at Amazon, they hire young kids who haven't even gone to college based on the experience and the profiles that they can share and the problems that they can solve. Start your profile early, make it very professional. This is not Instagram, this isn't Googly, this isn't Facebook. This is a serious place for serious presentation of your brand and the things that you're capable of exhibiting and solving. Start utilizing LinkedIn, and there are a lot of tips on how to utilize the site properly. What kind of headshot do you want to have there? You don't want a picture of you there, screaming down with the bike and the beer in the hand and all that. It's a professional site. Use it as it's intended to be, and you'll start getting interest from both institutions, because everybody on LinkedIn, every graduate of every university belongs to some group on LinkedIn. It's like University of Phoenix, we have 800,000 LinkedIn people that are graduates of the University of Phoenix. So employers are looking at that all the time. Start networking, reach out to those people who have a job in the area, the problem that you want to solve. You can link up in those groups, join those communities, and by the time you get out of high school and get out of college, you'll have a very professional resume that you can show in addition to your career that's going to start once you get out of school.
Boy, that's all really good information, and so not only topical but timely, and you can never start too early. I love how you tell students that. And also, remember, students, you don't have to know it all. It is okay to bring an adult in to guide you, a mentor. It could be an aunt, an uncle. It could be somebody you admire in the business world or any other world, whether it's art or sports or anything else. Remember, it takes a lot of people to get you where you need to go, so you need to work with people to get there. Hey, Dennis, I want to thank you for your time here today. It's been really great.
Well, Josh, I really enjoyed it. And, like I said, I have 2 girls who are growing up in a world that I hope treats them with equality around women in technology. I really hope they go into that field. I'm a big advocate for women and minorities in technology. So, take care of yourself. It's never too young to learn how to code. There's a school in Denver that has a charter school that has kids 5 years old who learn how to code in 3 languages in 3 months. So kids are amazing. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not amazing. You can achieve great things at any age. Don't give up.
That's great. Those are some wise fatherly words. I love that. Thank you so much, Dennis. To all of you out there, Remember, your kids are watching, so remember to keep it light, bright, and polite. That means before you post, ask yourself, is this positive and fun? Okay, then it's light. Is this smart? Think first. Okay, check, it's bright. And last, is this polite? Am I proud of it ending up on a billboard for thousands of people to see? If it is, then it's light, bright, and polite. This works for emails as well, because remember, nothing is truly private. We've got this for parents, and we have this one for some of the world's biggest brands as they train their employees to really advocate for the company to show how fun it is to work there so they can strengthen the culture there. I'm Josh Oakes with smartsocial.com. Thank you for all of you for watching this today. We will see you on the next episode.